Chapter 161, Yang Wu's Deterrence. What? 3 spots? Virtual Universe Corporation is really wealthy and powerful. A spot in the primitive mystical region represents countless cultivation resources. The undying beings around him all widened their eyes and gasped in disbelief. Doomsday Mystery Realm, Heaven and Earth Secret Realm, highest beginning mythical region, primitive mystical region. From low to high, even the lowest Doomsday Mystery Realm outclassed the Ganwu Secret Realm by an unfathomable margin. "Let's go out and see," Luo Feng said, excitement building at the thought of the talent war. "I want to see the top geniuses from all the universe countries." Luo Feng was confident in his own strength, but he also understood the value of sizing up one's rivals. The man who had declared he had no hope of breaking into the top 1,000 had been judging only by the reincarnation battle. In that fight, Luo Feng had not shown his full power. Since then, his Mosha clan clone had been cultivating absolute space, his golden horned beast had been honing its golden origin talent, and his original Earth self had never relaxed for a moment. His power had advanced astonishingly. The central plaza was larger than a base city on Earth, filled with hundreds of thousands of geniuses, most of whom were not ostentatious. Luo Feng walked beside the green-haired youth Feng Lun, scanning the crowd. "Luo Feng, look," Feng Lun said, pointing toward a stunning girl in a white feather robe. She looked like a legendary angel, with 2 wings on her back and a crystal embedded on her brow, clearly not an ordinary race. "Her name is Ai Chen, nicknamed Light Sword," Luo Feng thought. A dream snail-winged race member, strong enough to contend for a top 10 slot. Though confident in himself, Luo Feng had gathered a lot of intelligence beforehand. He may not have had every detail, but he knew the most famous names. He had not expected, however, someone like Yang Wu. That should be Illusion Demon Galaxy," Luo Feng said softly as his gaze landed on a thin man draped in a black robe some 2.3 or 2.4 meters tall. The Howl God race youth's spiritual power was visibly formidable, and he seemed to notice Luo Feng looking at him. Galaxy's eyes sharpened, and he turned in Luo Feng's direction. "A formidable opponent," Luo Feng murmured. "I hope I don't have to face him." Illusion Demon, Galaxy was reputed to be an unparalleled illusionist. In the previous talent war in the Pengu Universe country, he reportedly never made a physical move. He merely stared at his opponents, and they fell into illusions from which they never awakened. Rumors placed him among the contenders for a top 10 ranking. As the two of them moved through the central plaza, more famed geniuses revealed themselves. The silver-clad youth known as Manka Star Prince, other prodigies whispered in every universe country. There were about 20 people widely regarded as capable of fighting for a top 10 place. But actual results would depend on performance that day. Luo Feng had watched recordings of the most celebrated 20 and knew that, without fighting them, their true level remained uncertain. He was certain only that all of them were at least as strong as Rongjun, and several were even more terrifying. The parade of super geniuses only fired Luo Feng's fighting spirit more. "Manka Star Prince," he said, eyeing the youth in combat attire. Such brilliance hadn't appeared on Manka Star's younger generation in a very long time. Others, though, might be hiding their strength, like the savage Rongjun, who had concealed his comprehension of the space origin law when he fought Luo Feng. If Luo Feng's power hadn't been so overwhelming, forcing Rongjun to use everything he had, no one would have suspected how strong Rongjun really was. Among the more than 1,000,000 geniuses from the 1,008 universe countries, there were certainly more than 20 who either openly or secretly rivaled Rongjun. Some, like Luo Feng, might have top 10 potential that few knew about. Others intended to remain silent until they shocked everyone at the talent war. Suddenly the plaza fell utterly silent. Luo Feng frowned. Hundreds of thousands of geniuses turned in the same direction. From Building 0825, a young man was walking out. He looked ordinary, unremarkable in the crowd. Yang Wu simply walked toward the plaza, his gaze sweeping across the assembled geniuses as if they were nothing at all. There was no ripple of awe or intimidation from him, only a cold, indifferent calm. "Butcher! Butcher Yang Wu. It's Yang Wu. They say he's the undisputed #1 this year. But his true strength is a mystery. Voices rose like a chorus from all parts of the plaza. Whether it was the Howl God Race youth in the black robe, the dazzling Dream Snail Girl, or the combat-ready Manka Star Prince, the true super powerhouses in the crowd all stared at Yang Wu. In the previous preliminary videos, Yang Wu manifested hundreds of incarnations for our Ganwu universe country, Feng Lun said with a faint smile. It was incredible. Luo Feng understood what that meant. According to the 10,000 thread flow secret method of the Yunmo star lineage, the cultivation path Luo Feng had chosen, the layers were distinctly ranked. The first layer, one thread flow, permitted the manifestation of an incarnation once one brushed the threshold of the space origin law. The second layer, 9 thread flow, allowed 9 incarnations at the astral rank, achieving that made one virtually invincible. It was what had given Luo Feng his peak of 9 thread flow in the talent war. The third layer, 100 thread flow, could manifest 100 incarnations, a realm even most world lords rarely reached. The fourth layer, 10,000 thread flow, was the pinnacle of that secret method. Brother Yang has advanced too far in recent years, Luo Feng said, remembering the day his Moshe clan clone had just been formed. He couldn't help a wry smile. The most incredible thing is, he's said to have comprehended the origin laws of time as well, reaching a level comparable to the space origin. Whispers swelled through the plaza. Butcher Yang Wu. Many say he's the most extraordinary prodigy among the 1,008 universe countries in this talent war. In past talent wars, there hasn't been anyone like Yang Wu for a very, very long time. Historically, the #1 overall in past talent wars were almost always stronger than the savage Rong Jun. But in the tens of millions of talent wars, there has never been an existence as terrifying as Butcher Yang Wu. Chapter 162, Fanboy 13, Excited Venerable Butcher Yang Wu is unreal. He cultivates both time and space. How he trains is anyone's guess. No matter how strong his bloodline, he shouldn't be this extraordinary. I half suspect he isn't even human, but some special life form keyed to the time-space origin laws. Even for a world lord, it would be hard to reach what Yang Wu has in the toughest branches of the space origin law, and his comprehension of the time origin is no weaker. He wields the time-space blade. No one among the geniuses felt slighted. Yang Wu was an existence to look up to. Brother, a beautiful young woman with long, green, naturally curly hair and green secret patterns on her face whispered, "Is he really Butcher Yang Wu, the one our undying instructor says we stood no chance against?" Jiang Mo, also green-haired, nodded beside her, eyes fixed on Yang Wu in the distance. He's terrifying, an astral rank cultivator who's profoundly comprehended both time and space origin laws. Don't worry, Qian Shui. Jiang Mo glanced down at the girl. Even if we can't beat Yang Wu or Death God Bolin, as siblings we must still secure 3rd and 4th in the overall ranking. Qian Shui understands. The girl nodded. The sibling pair were themselves formidable, rumored to be top 10 material. Yang Wu listened to the surrounding talk with a look of speechless amusement. Butcher Yang Wu, what a strange name. It didn't sound imposing compared to titles like Martial Ancestor or Death God. Just then a youth in white stepped out of a building not far away. Handsome but expressionless, like an iceberg, he carried a blood-red longsword on his back. Death God Bolin. Luo Feng watched the figure in the distance. He's said to be the genius closest in strength to Yang. Death God Bolin's out too? He's supremely strong, but unlucky that Yang Wu showed up in this session. They're like 2 stars born at once. If anyone could challenge Yang Wu for first, it would be Bolin, just a sliver of hope. The white-clad youth glanced toward the focus of the other's conversation and said softly, Butcher Yang Wu, my only rival in this talent war. As time passed, every genius team from the 1,008 universe countries and their undying mentors arrived at restaurant #1. Some stayed on the 1st floor, others on the 2nd, chatting and sizing one another up. Yang Wu and Bolin had appeared almost at the same time, which everyone found novel. These two are interesting, both arrogant geniuses. Even before the peak battle, the atmosphere's been set. You all saw the video I took a few days ago of a young man from my Ganwu universe country, Yang Wu, 13 said with a faint smile. He's only astral rank, but his comprehension of the time-space origin laws is astonishing. After 100 eras, he could become a space venerable, a time venerable, maybe even a universe lord. You're going too far, 13, someone interjected. Saying he could be a universe lord, that's excessive. Just because Ganwu produced a once-in-10 million era talent doesn't mean we need hyperbole. Yeah, that's over the top. I feel awkward listening. To reach venerable, he's still far off. How many undying have cultivated for hundreds of millions of years and still never become a venerable? He's not at our king-level undying yet. Becoming a venerable isn't easy. We're all powerful champions. Who among us would claim we could become venerables? Difficult, difficult, difficult. Space Origin splits into 3 branches: seal, kill, instant. He hasn't even achieved instant movement, the pinnacle of one branch. Exactly, he's far from instant movement, let alone a space or time venerable. 13, stop praising him so much. How many venerables exist across the 1008 universe countries? Hasn't it been over 100 million eras since a new venerable appeared? Yang Wu is a rare talent in the 10 million session talent war. Sure, but a genius is a genius. If you say he could become a powerful undying comparable to us, fine. But venerable? That's too much. The word venerable struck a nerve. A crowd of king-level undying immediately voiced their objections. Ha ha! What's all the commotion? A loud voice cut across restaurant number 1. Every undying, first and second floor alike, looked up. At the entrance stood a man in an ordinary green robe, handsome, smiling, but his head was covered in purple scales. He seemed to occupy a slightly different spatial dimension. There was a subtle aura of space about him. This was a space venerable, 9-sword exalt, the presiding venerable of the talent war. Boom! Hundreds of undying on the first floor rose, and those on the second flooded down. Venerable! Over 1,000 undying bowed in unison. For this talent war organized by my Virtual Universe Corporation, all your great universe countries have given strong support. On behalf of the corporation, I offer my thanks, 9-sword exalt said with a smile. It's what we should do, several voices replied. 9-sword exalt nodded. Carry on with your conversations. I'll take a look around first, then I'll gather the young people. He moved off, keeping composure before the assembled undying. By rule, the Virtual Universe Corporation sends a venerable to preside over each talent war. The geniuses who rise to undying in a session are then assigned to that venerable's command. That was why the Ganwu country lord had hesitated to take Yang Wu as a disciple when he first learned of the boy's terrifying talent. Originally, the lord hadn't paid much attention to this talent war. If even Bolin or someone else here became a king-level undying, that would have been satisfactory. But Yang Wu's unexpected appearance changed everything. Yang Wu was a once-in-10 million era genius with a real shot at becoming a venerable, over 30% probability, many thought. Most importantly, his grasp of the time and space origin laws was so high that Universe Lord potential couldn't be ruled out. 9-sword exalt's expression hardened. It's just a pity, he murmured, that he's talented enough to attract the attention of Universe Lords. Chapter 163, Trial Tower and the Venerable Recruiting Apprentices. In the human race, the bond between master and disciple is regarded as stronger than blood. Bloodlines can stretch across trillions of years. What Universe Exalt hasn't lived through countless epochs. Even if an Exalt could keep relatives alive for 1,000 epochs, eventually they die. Descendants separated by generations might meet only a few times, or never at all. How could such a fragile blood tie compare to the deliberate, intentional bond between teacher and student? A master trains a disciple. The disciple grows stronger and may one day become the master's greatest ally, or even surpass the master. To 9-sword exalt, not to mention being surpassed, Yang Wu already had the potential to become an exalt. The peerless geniuses who appear once every 10 million epochs seldom fall below champion pinnacle. Nearly a third of them eventually attain Universe Exalt. That kind of probability was a powerful temptation for 9-sword. Regardless, as the leading Exalt overseeing this talent war, he had everything to gain by taking on promising disciples. After 9-sword exalt left, the undying gathered on the first floor began to murmur among themselves. It's 9-sword exalt. I heard he's a high-level universe exalt. He was exploring a universe secret realm deep inside automaton territory not long ago. I didn't expect him to personally preside over this talent war. Back hundreds of thousands of epochs ago, Ninesword Exalt was only astral rank, and he entered the talent war too. At that time, he was the #1 of his epoch. The shock we experienced when that Exalt appeared was no less than what this young man, Bolin, has caused now. Yang Wu has cultivated for far less time than that Exalt did, yet he can rival him. Maybe that's why he has Exalt potential. But what use is talent alone? The path to becoming an Undying is brutal. Countless world lords with talent equal to Bolin's have fallen before the final threshold. It may be easy for Yang Wu to reach Undying, but to become an Exalt, he'll still have to survive innumerable trials. That evening, Yang Wu and Luo Feng were quietly drinking at a restaurant in the central plaza when an authoritative voice cut through the air. All Talent War participants from the 1008 universe countries assemble at the central plaza. Yang Wu and Luo Feng both stood up without thinking. Others in the restaurant did the same. From the sky, from the outer edges of the plaza, and from nearby residential towers, strangers descended, together forming a neat formation of 8,000 geniuses. People who had been dozing at their tables snapped awake. What just happened? Luo Feng blinked in bewilderment. How did I get here? I was resting in my room. All across the plaza, the million-ranked assembly was in shock. In front of them, 1,008 undying beings took their places, and waves of willpower pressure poured out. The combined will of so many powerful undying was terrifying. It fell like a guillotine upon the crowd and instantly silenced them. Welcome, geniuses, to the Universe Peak Talent War hosted by the Virtual Universe Corporation. A calm voice echoed into every mind. Everyone looked up. In the previously empty space above the plaza, a figure materialized, a man in a cyan battle robe, a headpiece of purple scales crowning his brow. Though plainly visible, he seemed to occupy a different spatial layer. The presence of spatio-temporal dislocation made it hard for any genius to perceive him clearly. Even Yang Wu, with his exceptional comprehension of space origin law, felt the image warp. Ninesword Exalt stood in the void and addressed the assembly. The human race consists of 1008 universe countries. From each universe country, 1,000 representatives were selected, 8,000 of you in total. From all of you, the Virtual Universe Corporation will recruit only 1,000 core members. You over 1 million contestants will fight for those 1,000 spots. Many will be eliminated. Tomorrow, each of you will be sent into a trial space. There are 7 trial towers inside the trial space, and each tower has 7 levels. You will begin with the first trial tower. After clearing all 7 levels of it, you may advance to the second tower, and so on. You will continue until you die, at which point you will be expelled from the trial space. After the trial space closes, we will calculate your points based on your performance. The first to the 100th place by points will be directly absorbed by the Virtual Universe Corporation as core members. That's 100 guaranteed spots. Those ranked 101 to 7,300, 7,200 people will enter arena battles to compete for the remaining 900 spots. All those ranked beyond 7,300 will be eliminated. A stunned silence followed the proclamation. From 1,008,000 hopefuls, only 1,000 would be chosen. The trial space was designed to cull the mass of competitors mercilessly. According to Zhanyan King, there's virtually no hope anyone of astral rank can clear the 7 trial towers set by the Virtual Universe Corporation, Yang Wu thought, a hard knot forming in his chest. The rule was absolute. The trial space stretched on until death, not until everyone cleared the towers. The Virtual Universe Corporation clearly expected no astral rank cultivator to pass them all. Yet Yang Wu smiled inwardly. I don't just understand space origin law, he told himself. I also understand time origin law. Maybe I can clear them. After explaining the trial towers and distribution rules, Ninesword Exalt vanished as if stepping out of the void. He had barely disappeared when a shimmer resolved beside Yang Wu. Ninesword's figure reappeared, now standing before him in full form. Exalt, Yang Wu said, kneeling in respect. Yang Wu, you are truly remarkable, Ninesword praised, then quickly added a warning. But you must know this. No matter how extraordinary your talent is, you are still only astral rank. Do not be arrogant. The road ahead is long and dangerous. I can make your path easier, the Exalt said. I wish to take you as my disciple. Yang Wu's talent, one in 10 million epochs, was indeed enough to attract an Exalt's attention. He kept his posture, heart pounding, while the offer hung in the charged air. A venerable taking disciples? To Yang Wu, that sounded like a fine opportunity. At the very least, in terms of understanding time-space origin laws, such a teacher would be far stronger than Luo Feng's first master back in Primordial Chaos City. Of course, with his current level, Yang Wu hadn't done enough to make any Universe Lord seriously consider taking him on as a disciple. That wasn't surprising. In the original timeline, even if Luo Feng showed talent comparable to Keidai, the Primordial Chaos City Lord didn't immediately take him in. He investigated first, then set tests before accepting anyone as an official disciple. As Babata had put it, the lifespans of powerful beings in the universe are staggering. At the planetary rank, someone might take one teacher. At the universe rank, another. After joining a region like the primitive mystical region, they might pick up more. And when true talent appears, different masters appear at each stage. It was normal for a mighty being to have dozens of teachers. If a universe country lord asked to take someone as a disciple, that person would be ecstatic. So Yang Wu didn't hesitate, he would accept. Guidance from a venerable now would save him countless detours. Even if he took other teachers later, that wasn't a problem. For the next 3 years between the talent war and entering Primordial Chaos City, the progress he could make with a venerable's help would be terrifying. The next morning, an announcement rang out across the divine plane. Everyone, prepare. Collective teleportation will occur soon. At that time, all participants will be sent to their respective trial spaces. A crisp, pleasant voice echoed through the space. The geniuses in the 1008 enormous buildings woke and began final preparations for the first round of the trial tower eliminations. The first wave alone would cull over 1 million people. After it, many of the 1,000 contestants might be gone. The trial tower eliminations were harsher than arena battles. Luo Feng, good luck. Brother Yang, you too. In Building 0825's first floor hall, many from Ganwu Universe Country exchanged well wishes. Suddenly, an invisible, strange force swept the divine plane. In an instant, it teleported all 1,008,000 young geniuses away. The undying beings and service personnel in the space were unaffected. Whoosh! Yang Wu found himself standing on a colossal, nearly rectangular meteorite, nearly 100 kilometers long, suspended in the starry void. Around him floated a tiny star and several lifeless planets. All flash and no substance, Yang Wu muttered, then headed for the trial towers. 7 mountain-sized towers, each over 10 kilometers high and occupying several square kilometers, were scattered across the meteorite. Yang Wu glanced at the screen on his wrist. Participant, Yang Wu, Ganwu Universe Country. Score 0. Ranking, none. Current trial space, number 000001. His participant number was 000001, clearly not random. Each trial space contained 7 trial towers, and each tower had 7 levels. The first tower's levels could each award up to 10,000 points, 70,000 if all 7 were cleared. The second tower's levels topped out at 100,000 apiece, 700,000 total. This scaled up by orders of magnitude all the way to the 7th tower, where each level could grant up to 10 billion points, 70 billion if all 7 levels were cleared. Different levels had different passing conditions and point rewards. There were 2 main ways to progress. 1. Kill every target in the level to get the highest points and be instantly teleported to the next level, the fastest way, and Yang Wu's plan. 2. If not all targets were killed but one remained alive after 10 days, the trial would still teleport you onward, but you wouldn't receive full points and it would cost you precious time. The approach Luo Feng intended to take. My strength's high. I can clear every tower. I don't need to wait around like Luo Feng, Yang Wu thought, eyes sharp. In a flash, he became a streak of light heading to the first trial tower. The gate bore a pillar marked 1. He could have rushed straight to the 7th tower if he'd wished, but first he wanted to learn the monsters in this tower. Rushing blindly and failing would be embarrassing. He didn't put away his battle suit or take out a weapon. Suit on, he stepped into the first tower's entrance. Boom, the first level sprang to life. 10,000 monsters rose up at once. Giant, tens of meters tall, covered in blood-red fur, their huge bodies brimming with raw power. These were the level's opponents, bloodhair mammoths. The instant Yangwu appeared, the beasts converged and charged. Under that surging, violent aura, his figure looked small. It felt as if he might be trampled at any moment. In the virtual universe, 1,008 undying beings lounged in the central plaza. Trial progress wasn't broadcast to the entire universe. Only ranking changes were public. But the undying of the universe countries had permission to watch their participants' trials. This Yangwu is ruthless, as expected. He's already leapt into first place, leaving Bolin way behind in points. Still, Bolin's score is climbing fast. 13. Your Ganwu Universe country's Wildman Rongjun is doing very well too. His points rank among the top. Each undying wished their universe country's geniuses to shine. Success reflected honor on them. P.S. Monthly Ticket Bonus Chapter. Chapter 165. First. How strong am I now? Yangwu took a step forward, linked with the spatial origin, and split into a series of phantom bodies that surged straight toward the bloodhair mammoths charging him. Blood sprayed, organs ruptured, bones shattered in quick succession. Under Yangwu's lightning-fast onslaught, the 10,000 bloodhair mammoths fell one after another before they could even close the distance. The first layer is too simple. These bloodhair mammoths are only astral rank. 10,000 of them means nothing. Still, this kind of trial was invaluable for Psyker Masters. Unlike warriors who must fight up close, Psyker Masters control psychic weapons at range. It kept them safer and amplified their offensive efficiency. First layer complete. Now commencing transfer to the second layer, an unnerving clear voice announced, and Yangwu's figure vanished from the clearing, leaving the ground littered with mammoth corpses. The second layer presented a 9-headed python, an intelligent foe. It, too, was only ordinary astral rank, and its attacks were rhythmic, coordinated. For Yangwu, however, it posed no pressure. The third layer released 1,000 Guro race warriors, metallic life forms whose overall strength had risen, but still far from a peak astral. They couldn't even touch his phantom bodies. The fourth layer unleashed 1,000 flying hyenas, strange winged beasts that were quickly slaughtered. The fifth layer produced 100 automaton race puppets. Their power had increased, but with fewer numbers they fell even faster. The sixth layer sent out 10 Territory Lord rank bloodline Starry Sky beasts, tougher but still mediocre in combat. The seventh layer revealed a single Zerg mother nest. It was punched into oblivion the instant Yangwu entered, never even producing a single Zerg warrior. As the first round of the Talent Wars trial space eliminations began, humans across the universe hungrily followed any scrap of news. The elimination battles themselves were not broadcast. Only the leaderboard was public. So people refreshed the Virtual Universe Corporation's official site again and again, watching the rankings shuffle. Butcher Yangwu has gone berserk. His score is skyrocketing. He's been in first place from the very start. This is a combined ranking of millions of geniuses across the human race. Yangwu, Butcher Yangwu. As more geniuses entered the trial tower, the top of the leaderboard changed frequently, except for the very top spot, which never budged. Yangwu, Ganwu Universe Country. The citizens of the Ganwu Universe Country, especially those in the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, erupted with pride. On Black Dragon Mountain Island, people gathered in front of street screens, bottles of wine in hand, cheering and howling for their idol. Yangwu is from our Black Dragon Mountain Empire. He's our pride. He's the greatest genius to come from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire in billions of years. He'll become one of the universe's strongest, for sure. For a tiny region like the Black Dragon Mountain Starfield, producing a contender who could dominate the talent war was unimaginable. Streets and plazas filled with ecstatic, almost worshipful crowds. From that moment, Yangwu became the national idol of the entire Black Dragon Mountain Empire. Unlike ordinary citizens who could only see the leaderboard, the various universe countries' undying leaders had access to each participant's trial feed. Yangwu, already considered the strongest of the geniuses and expected to top the competition, naturally drew intense scrutiny. The Undying watched his matches from massive chairs, screens fixed on his performance. 13, one of the Undying, grinned broadly. "This Yang Wu truly is a once-in-10 millionaire genius," he said. "He's held first place the whole time." Most striking to them was that Yang Wu had not even used the time-space blade. He fought barehanded. Watching him casually slaughter the winged, furry, three-eyed flying hyenas with nothing but fists made 13's smile widen. Compared to the preliminaries, Yang Wu had become far stronger. To 13 and many others, the talent war already looked secured. The leaderboard tugged at billions of hearts across the human race. For anyone who broke into the top 1,000, the Virtual Universe Corporation prepared promotional videos. They had anticipated who would reach that mark, so the first batch of promotional footage, including a feature on Yang Wu, was already finished and uploaded to the corporation's site. With video clips now available, the trial space eliminations felt immediate and real. Strong individuals of all races tuned in. Countless people sat on the edge of their seats, eager to see whether the geniuses from their own universe countries would qualify. Soon after, the promotional videos released by the Virtual Universe Corporation were reshared across every universe state, drawing massive attention. Wherever the virtual universe could be accessed among the human race, the trial space elimination rounds were being broadcast endlessly. The pinned video on the corporation's official channel, the human race's strongest prodigy, Yang Wu, accumulated countless views. Yang Wu, the super genius from the Black Dragon Mountain starfield of the Ganwu universe country, became instantly famous throughout the human race, etched into the minds of millions. The 7 trial towers had identical objectives and the same number of levels. Only the enemy's strength rose from tower to tower. The second trial tower was tougher overall, but to Yang Wu, they were still opponents he could dispatch with a single punch. His understanding of time-space had grown too deep. The third trial tower scaled in a linear fashion. In the original scenario, those 1,000 and 8,000 geniuses could pass the first and second towers, but many would be weeded out starting at the first level of the third. In fact, the third trial tower eliminated the most contestants, almost 90%. Even so, Yang Wu, loath to bother with his time-space blade, still passed easily. The fourth trial tower's difficulty jumped again. Each of the 10,000 bloodhair mammoths on the first level possessed a domain. Still, Yang Wu met no real challenge. The fifth trial tower was brutal. Most of the over 1 million geniuses fell at its first level. Those who cleared it were roughly among the top 100 overall, yet even they would be felled by a single punch from Yang Wu. The first level of the sixth trial tower increased difficulty tenfold. In the original tale, fewer than 10 contestants even reached that level, and only Bolin passed it. Yang Wu's illusions, however, outmatched the tower's opponents by far. Under his explosive power, the 10,000 mammoths toppled like harvested stalks. Compared with how he handled the first trial tower, he only used slightly more complex techniques and a bit more time. In total, he spent less than an hour clearing the first 6 trial towers. When that bloody afterimage cut past the fragile form of the Zerg Queen Mother, the Undying assembled in the central plaza sucked in breath after breath in stunned silence. The broadcast announced, Noble 1 Yang Wu, Universe Country, score 770,000. Each of the 7 levels in every trial tower carried the same maximum score, so although the difficulty rose between towers, it didn't scale linearly. What really threw the scores and difficulty out of balance was the introduction of a new trial tower. For example, the first level of the 6th trial tower awarded 10 times the score of the 7th level of the 5th. With such high points at stake, the difficulty leaped accordingly. From Yang Wu's total, it was obvious he had already cleared the entire 6th trial tower. Admittedly, wielding the time-space blade would boost his combat potency, but controlling it was demanding and time-consuming. It might even slow him down compared to fighting unarmed. Too strong, people murmured. This butcher Yang Wu is unreal. He didn't even use a weapon, yet he cleared all 7 levels of the 6th trial tower. Is he even human? The gap between him and other prodigies is enormous. His score has put everyone else to shame. Not only did the 1,008 Undying in the plaza watch in awe, the live broadcast pulled in attention from other quarters as well. Venerable level elites at the Virtual Universe Corporation and leaders of the other four major powers, figures who normally ignored astral rank talent wars, were notified by their undying subordinates and began to pay attention. According to the trial tower's design, it was theoretically impossible for someone at the astral rank to clear those floors, and yet here was a contender breaking that rule. Could a once-in-10 million epochs genius be appearing? Venerables who had lived through countless epochs were eager. A talent war came every 5,000 years. They had seen prodigies by the thousands. Geniuses like Bolin, who surfaced once every 10,000 epochs, failed to attract the highest level attention. Only a rare genius, a true once-in-10 million epochs talent, could draw venerable interest and receive cultivation from the whole race. He seems to be clearing the 7th level of the 6th trial tower without trouble, some remarked. But the jump between towers is brutal. The first level of the 7th trial tower is several times tougher than the 7th of the 6th. I wonder if he can get through it. He should. He didn't even use a weapon before. Countless eyes were fixed on the feed. When Yang Wu stepped onto the first level of the 7th trial tower, none of the 1,000 8,000 geniuses in the trial had been eliminated yet. Most were still attempting the first trial tower. As those who had advanced checked their arm screen rankings, many rubbed their eyes in disbelief at the top score, over 7.7 billion points. Elsewhere, in the second trial tower's 7th level, the tall wild man Rong Jun swung his heavy battle saber in wide arcs and cut down attacking insect race warriors. The creatures swarmed anew, then a sharp psychic strike pierced his sea of consciousness. The insect race is a troublesome foe for fighters, Rong Jun muttered, narrowing his eyes. He decided to unleash a hidden technique. Clang! A pale yellow saber light flashed with lightning speed, brighter and seemingly faster than lightning itself. The slash was unleashed and retracted in an instant, like sunlight passing by. Ordinary in appearance, yet leaving no trace, a pure expression of speed. The saber light vanished. Rong Jun returned his blade to its sheath without bothering to glance at the Zerg mother nest. This trial tower is truly hard to clear, and this is only the second one, he frowned. But my speed isn't slow. I reached the 7th level of the second tower in under an hour. Yang Wu was stronger than him, Rong Jun thought, but he shouldn't be that much faster. He grinned and glanced at his arm screen. After checking his own score, he pulled up the leaderboard and scanned the others. When Rong Jun saw Yang Wu's score, the smile froze on his face. Chapter 167, Shocking Performance. Damn, are the warriors spawned by the 6th Zerg mother nest made of paper? Rong Jun muttered, stunned. And I wonder if Yang Wu can pass the first layer of the 7th trial tower. If he does, he's on another level entirely. Rong Jun knew a little about the trial tower rules. The later layers grew tougher, but not dramatically. If someone could clear the first layer, they stood a good chance of clearing the rest. That knowledge made Yang Wu's speed all the more astonishing. In another trial space, Bolin was still cleaving through monsters without glancing at his wristband. In his own mind, the title Death God was unquestioned. Checking rankings felt like a waste of time. He already knew how many points he'd earned, and he was confident no one could take first from him. Most of the other geniuses weren't so complacent. When they checked the leaderboard, they were dumbfounded. It wasn't just Rong Jun. Illusion Demon Galaxy, Qian Shui, Uka, and other peerless talents who could break the top 20 were staring at the screen in disbelief. Less than an hour had passed. Many of them were still in the second trial tower. The fastest had only just reached the 7th layer. The slowest had barely entered it. Yet Yang Wu had already racked up over 7.7 billion points. Clear evidence he had swept through all 6 trial towers. The speed was incomprehensible. Each trial tower contained over 20,000 targets across 6 towers that added up to more than 100,000 targets. Even if someone could kill 1 target per second, wiping out over 100,000 non-stop would still take dozens of hours. The crowd's reaction was one of cold astonishment. This is unnatural. Psyker masters kill fast, but not like this. Has he comprehended the origin of time and space? The number 1 of the talent war, no doubt. He's terrifying. Clearing the 6th tower's 7th layer in under an hour. Record-breaking, surely. Wait, don't enter yet. He's about to try the first layer of the seventh tower. I want to see his score jump. Hundreds of thousands of top human geniuses froze their own progress to watch. Very few could pass the first layer of the seventh trial tower. It was the Virtual Universe Corporation's benchmark, and those who had surpassed it in past sessions were rare. If Yang Wu managed it, he would be the strongest genius alive. Being in the same session as him would be an honor. The Undying, watching Yang Wu's figure on the screens, were equally stunned. If other geniuses were within their expectations, Butcher Yang Wu far exceeded them. Before he entered the seventh tower, the 10,000 bloodhair mammoths there had been wandering like a storm waiting to break. In the first tower, those beasts had been easy prey. By the seventh tower, their combat power had leapt to a terrifying level. Any single bloodhair mammoth on the first layer now had the strength of a top 100 genius. Their attacks drew on origin laws, and their speed and burst power were horrific. Virtual Universe had not intended astral rank geniuses to pass this layer. 10,000 of them together were a nightmare. The bloodhair mammoths scented Yang Wu's aura, and all their blood-red eyes fixed on him. The crowd braced. Yang Wu finally unsheathed his time-space blade. He couldn't not use it now, someone observed. Despite his extreme law comprehension and raw strength, the sheer number of bloodhair mammoths demanded more than bare fists. Yang Wu's blade release stunned everyone further. 3,000 perfect illusions of him appeared. Each illusion was tangible and surrounded by a strange vortex. Together, the more than 3,000 Yang Wus formed an absolute domain around the real one. He could strike from any direction. All at once, the 10,000 bloodhair mammoths charged. Blades sang. Each Yang Wu swung his time-space blade, and a blinding radiance poured forth, like a reverse-flowing galaxy. Primal energy roared through the trial tower as blade light streamed outward in endless, dragon-like currents. The tower itself shuddered, the primal energy's cry echoing like a mourning wail. Rippling, solidified blades spread in all directions. For a moment it felt as if space had stiffened and time slowed to a halt. Those streaks of blade light, deceptively slow in appearance, moved with unimaginable speed. The blades bloomed like lotuses and cleaved through the horde. Thousands of bloodhair mammoths were dismembered in a single strike, their cries drowned by the cascade of blade light. Severed limbs and spattered blood filled the void. In a heartbeat, the 10,000 beasts were annihilated. Yang Wu's true body remained intact in everyone's mind as he vanished forward into the second layer. Silence fell. The wind swept across the battlefield, invisible data streams erased the gore, and it was as if nothing had happened. The first few layers of the seventh trial tower are no challenge for him. The real test will be the later layers, murmured observers. A stunned hope spread through the crowd. The impossible seemed closer than ever. Someone might actually clear all 7 trial towers. Chapter 168, Shocking the Universe. Please order. Nongwang Wu, Ganwu Universe Country. Points, 17 to 777,000. The geniuses stared at Yang Wu's score, eyes wide, breaths coming sharp and shallow. Their expressions froze in disbelief. These people had extraordinary insight. Most of them knew the history of the talent wars. No matter how brutal the 6th trial tower, some geniuses always found a way through it. Just like Bolin, who had the strength to enter the 7th trial tower this session. But to pass the 7th trial tower at all, even the first layer, marked true potential. It was almost unheard of for anyone at astral rank to clear any layer of the 7th tower. If someone had done so at astral rank, their future could hardly be limited. Why? Why is the gap so huge? This Yang Wu, he's terrifying. One by one, the geniuses silently removed Yang Wu from their lists of rivals. To them, he was now an invincible presence. Yang Wu paid no mind to the ordinary geniuses. The only opponent who truly mattered in his future was Luo Feng, someone these peers had overlooked. It wasn't just ordinary citizens, geniuses, and Undying who were stunned by the leaderboard. Inside the 5 great conglomerates of the universe, top figures used special permissions to watch Yang Wu's trial space progress. Any Undying spiritual god or higher could view a participant's trial space during the talent war, and those who had been favored before were quickly forgotten. Who could compare to someone who had already passed the 7th trial tower? 7th trial tower, Second layer. What the powerhouses saw on the floating display was Yang Wu in newly gleaming Tier 2 force armor, wielding a time-space blade. He showed no wounds. The atmosphere in the central plaza turned suddenly solemn. The 1008 Undying, who led the teams, stood frozen, staring at the screen. No injuries. No blood. Second layer trial content, 10,000 demon beasts, 9-headed pythons. Passing standard, slay all demon beasts or survive for 10 days. Slaying one 9-headed python grants 1,000 points. Slaying all grants 10,000 points. The trial officially begins in 60 seconds. Only intelligent creatures are called demon beasts. Those without intelligence are merely monsters or wild beasts, Yang Wu said quietly, his gaze sharpening. Compared with the blood-hair mammoths in the first layer, which were monsters, these demon beasts will be far harder. The blood-hair mammoths of the first layer had indeed been fearsome. Each attack carried the force of origin laws, and every mammoth possessed a 9-fold domain. The superposition of those domains had made them dangerous. But this was different. When 10,000 identical high-tier domains overlapped, the effect wasn't a simple sum. 1 minute passed. 10,000 9-headed pythons refreshed and appeared. Giant serpents, each compressed to tens of meters in length, each with 9 heads. They spawned several thousand kilometers from Yang Wu. Earlier, the domains were chaotic, he thought. Now, the superposition of 10,000 identical 9th-tier domains forms a grand domain, disciplined, like facing a well-ordered army. This domain is also saturated with origin law power. The sight of the overwhelming swarm pressed down on him. In the virtual universe, his body was standardized. His gene multipliers, the 30-fold and 9,000-fold advantages he had beyond normal genes, did not apply here. Even so, staring into a scenario meant to crush astral-ranked geniuses, Yang Wu still felt a cautious confidence. Atop the central plaza, Ninesword Exalt in his cyan robe split his consciousness and entered the virtual universe. That the Space Venerable would do so, his true body residing in a universe-secret realm, showed how highly he valued Yang Wu. As a master of space origin law, Ninesword's presence didn't attract the attention of other undying spiritual gods. He was clearly here, and yet folded into another spatial layer. As expected of Yang Wu, a genius who appears once in 10 million epochs, Ninesword murmured. To think I'd see someone unleash the 6th tier of the time-space blade during a talent war. Geniuses who appeared once every 10 million epochs were not all alike. Some specialized in space origin law, some in time origin law, others in lesser fields. Someone like Yang Wu, adept at both time and space, was rare even among the strongest of the human race. What puzzled Ninesword most was Yang Wu's trajectory. Many peerless geniuses, progress slows or even staggers at higher stages, but Yang Wu seemed to accelerate with time. Actually, the first 6 layers of the 7th trial tower shouldn't trouble him, Ninesword thought. Now it comes down to whether he can defeat the Zerg Queen Mother on the 7th layer. He cleared the 2nd layer in only seconds, one undying spiritual god whispered, mouth gaping. This is the 7th trial tower, not the 1st. He had been through talent wars and had once reached the internal eliminations of the universe country, entering the peak talent grand finals. Back then, he couldn't even pass the 5th layer and died on it, so he knew how savage the 7th tower could be. He spent almost no time challenging the trial itself. Most of it was waiting for the 60 seconds, another said. I don't care about the time, 13 said, baffled. The real question is, can he clear it? At his words, more than 1,000 undying spiritual gods fell silent. If Yang Wu could clear the 7th trial tower, a feat nearly impossible for anyone, his future would be terrifying indeed. Barring a fall later on, he would become a figure these champions had to respect. It's hard to imagine what he'll become when he matures, an undying murmured, then abruptly left, initiating a god kingdom teleportation. Within the star domain of the barbarian universe country, in an unknown spatial interlayer, a vast god kingdom lay hidden. The magnificence of the place was abnormal. It was the covert bastion of the insect race. Master! Master! On the highest floor of the grand hall, a golden-robed figure appeared in a flash, urgent and breathless. I have critical intelligence to report. Roar! Roar! His arrival seemed to have provoked tens of thousands of golden Zerg warriors. They erupted into enraged cries that rolled through the hall. "What intelligence makes you so frantic?" The Zerg Queen Mother's voice, gentle enough to make one's limbs go slack, echoed through the chamber. Chapter 169, The Seventh Floor of Terror. The golden-robed figure looked respectfully toward the Zerg Mother Nest, which was guarded by countless undying Zerg warriors. "We just received word that a peerless genius named Yang Wu has appeared among the humans," he reported. "During the Talent War, he cleared the first level of the 7th Trial Tower. A few decades old and already that strong," an elderly, gentle voice replied, grave with surprise. "He's easily the strongest human genius in 10 million eras. The most alarming thing is his astonishing compatibility with the origin of time and space." "A few decades? The first level of the 7th Trial Tower?" the voice murmured again, almost reverent. "That's comparable to the insight of a top world lord." "Yes, master." The golden-robed figure's tone betrayed both excitement and anxiety. "He's only at astral rank, and he achieved this so quickly. There's another name in his batch, Bolin. He's the sort who appears once every 10,000 eras." The golden-robed figure added, hesitating. "He won't rival Yang Wu, but he should clear the first level." 10,000 eras, the master said dismissively. "You don't need to report on those. They fall on their own. But Yang Wu is worth watching." "Yes," the figure bowed. "When we dealt with KD, our insect race expended enormous effort. We even prevented his teacher, the primordial Chaos City Lord, from resurrecting him by twisting time and space. A genius who appears once in 10 million eras might not attract a universe lord as a disciple, but they will certainly draw attention. To eliminate Yang Wu, our internal strength won't suffice. I will list him as number 1 and report to the race." The figure fell back in respectful retreat. The primordial universe was vast. Even the human, monster, insect, and automaton races occupied only slivers of it. Far away, other formidable races and powers listened when the same news reached them. Within a divine kingdom hidden in a spatial rift, a continent threaded with black currents and dominated by a massive black hall, a figure wrapped in black mist spoke with deference. On the throne, a life form 3,000 meters tall sat, a body of countless black rocks ringed with dark red flame. "Master," the figure intoned. The giant stirred slowly. "What is it?" it asked. "We've learned a peerless human genius named Yang Wu has been born. He's only cultivated for a few decades and already cleared the first level of the 7th Trial Tower," the subordinate reported. "He's the sort who appears once in 10 million eras among the humans, but our race cannot easily infiltrate humanity." The rock colossus went silent, then rumbled. "When Yang Wu becomes a world lord, he'll go to the outside territory battlefield. There will be opportunity there to deal with him." Rock lifeform's great strength lay in patience. Elsewhere, inside a massive cube forged from countless special crystals, a golden-clad man sat on an emerald-green throne. A golden eye on his forehead sent invisible ripples through the cube, probing, measuring. "Oh," he said to himself, "the distant humans have produced a genius who appears once in 10 million eras." He smiled. "It seems the insect, monster, and automaton races will all try to take him out. The 4 pinnacle race territories border each other. The fiercer they fight, the better for us." In a single day, the news of Yang Wu spread throughout the universe, reaching countless races. As Ninesword Exalt had predicted, Yang Wu sailed through the next 5 levels of the 7th Trial Tower with uncanny ease. The first level of each trial tower was always the hardest. The later levels grew in difficulty, but not as sharply. Minutes later, Yang Wu stood on the vast desert of the 7th level. The insect race, like humanity, was one of the 6 pinnacle races. Zerg mother nests, like the one in Shenangjia on Earth, were terrifying. The weakest rivaled a world lord, many even matched undying existences. Any trace of a mother nest in human territory brought catastrophic consequences. For the trial tower, however, the mother nest's strength had been scaled down, otherwise no one could have cleared it. The insect population was paradoxical, overwhelmingly numerous in potential, yet with individual fighters pitifully few in understanding. A single mother nest could spawn billions of Zerg warriors that swept the stars like a sea. Zerg warriors fought with near zero individual intelligence, instinct more than thought, but they obeyed the mother nest absolutely. That absolute obedience created a racial talent no one could ignore: group attack. They could focus the force of millions of Zerg into a single point, allowing them to punch far above their weight. That talent had been one of Luo Feng's trump cards on the outside territory battlefield. For this reason, the Virtual Universe Corporation set the 7th level's target as a Zerg mother nest, to make the millions of geniuses understand what a Zerg Queen Mother could do. Every Zerg warrior spawned by the mother nest here had strength comparable to the top 100 super geniuses in the competition. Their comprehension of laws reached the threshold of world lords. With their racial group attack, tens of thousands of astral rank super geniuses combined could even kill a world lord. No astral rank genius in past talent wars had ever cleared this level. 60 seconds later, the Zerg Queen Mother unleashed the Zerg warriors she had in reserve. Each wave consisted of 10,000 green mantises and 1,000 blood mantises. 3 such waves were sent in succession. Buzz, buzz, buzz. 3,000 Zerg squads led by blood mantises split like fighter squadrons and formed into formations. 1,000 of those squads rose high and surrounded Yang Wu, launching a direct assault from the sky. The remaining 2,000 seemed to merge their patterns into a single whole. The strange sigils on the Zerg bodies began to expand rapidly. It was the opening of a group attack. Chapter 170. Clear the level. Chaos City Lord's attention. Ask for subscription. Kill. Yang Wu gritted his teeth and fought with everything he had. He knew this was a race against time. He had to move faster and not give them a moment to fully coordinate, or there would be no chance. He took the initiative and held nothing back, unleashing every technique he had. Over 3,000 phantom bodies filled the space, making it seem as if the arena belonged entirely to him. Saberlight flashed with the speed and sharpness of lightning. Pft, pft, pft. Nearly half of the incoming green mantises and blood mantises were cut down by the blades. Blood sprayed in rhythm with the flashes. The Saberlight did not weaken and continued to tear through the remaining Zerg warriors. Boom! A sharp, ear-splitting cry erupted from the distant Zerg mother nest, and an invisible, illusory wave of soul energy swept toward Yang Wu. His head felt as if struck by a heavy blow. His spirit shuddered violently. At the same time, fine, needle-like soul attacks pierced at his consciousness from every direction. Extraordinary mindset, hold! Yang Wu roared and kept slashing. He knew the battle would be decided by who broke first. His extraordinary mindset, vast and ethereal, made his will unusually resilient. His deep comprehension of the time-space origin laws strengthened his awareness further, bolstered by the universe's time-space principles, so his soul defenses were exceptionally stout. Still, with so many enhancements stacked against him, his spirit felt like a small boat on a stormy sea, liable to capsize at any moment. A second later, Yang Wu sat alone on the ruined crest of the Zerg mother nest, surrounded by dead Zerg. It's over. The 1,008 undying spiritual gods watching the trial and the exalts observing in secret reached the same conclusion. Yang Wu's mastery of time laws had let him stretch and manipulate the flow of time. As long as he could withstand the fiercest soul assaults, he could demolish the Queen Mother's arrangements almost instantaneously. Having cleared the outlying Zerg warriors, the Zerg mother nest itself was little more than meat on a chopping block. Yang Wu, undisputed first place in the talent war, had just cleared 7 trial towers in succession, finishing the elimination round with a final total of 77,770,000 points and ranking first across the universe. His will is terrifying. He endured the Zerg mother nest's mad soul attacks for a full second without collapsing, one undying spiritual god muttered. The most terrifying part is how quickly he recovered between successive soul strikes. That's unheard of. Most geniuses who passed were Psyker Masters using special soul defense methods, another observed. But Yang Wu is a warrior. Warriors naturally have weaker spirits than Psyker Masters, yet he withstood those attacks through sheer will. If it had been any other warrior, there'd have been no resistance, someone else said. They designed the 7th level of the 7th trial tower to be brutally comprehensive, a voice added. Even if a warrior is fast and spawns many phantom bodies, they still can't outpace soul attacks. The Zerg mother nest's soul waves are lethal. Ordinary warriors don't even get a chance to reach the Zerg warriors, another agreed. If the Queen Mother hadn't pre-bred so many Zerg warriors, maybe there'd be a slim chance. That's not realistic, a veteran countered. Which Queen Mother ever shows up without hordes of warriors? This setup isn't just to raise difficulty, it's intrinsic to its nature. Even the powerful undying spiritual gods murmured among themselves about Bolin, a genius who appears once every 10,000 epochs and might, with decades or centuries more, effortlessly crush the first 6 levels. But few ever cleared all the trial towers in past Talent Wars because the final Zerg Queen Mother was simply too formidable. One tiny weakness and death awaited. As the first round of the Talent Wars trial space eliminations reached this climax, the virtual universe system, humanity's most critical racial tool, collected and processed massive streams of information. When an unusually important event was detected, it ran logical analyses and prepared contingency plans. In fact, when Yang Wu first entered the 7th Trial Tower, the virtual universe's automaton race universe Lord Intelligence had already drafted multiple scenarios. But as Yang Wu tore through level after level, each contingency was discarded. The system escalated the situation to humanity's highest commanders. In the special divine plane within the virtual universe, billions of galactic nations were silent. Universe exalts from the 5 major megacorporations and the nation lords of various universes found themselves stirred. Yang Wu's performance was blindingly brilliant, and that brilliance made other races eager to eliminate him while they could. The talent war was visible to any undying spiritual god. Even without direct access to the live feed, everyone could infer Yang Wu's final standing from his total score. It could not be hidden. In the primordial universe, in Primordial Chaos City, a notification arrived for one being in particular. Primordial Chaos City was a vast, mysterious realm, an endless graveyard of slain alien powerhouses. Some corpses were the size of planets, others were as small as human dwarfs. Every corpse radiated a terrifying presence. Those buried there had been exalts and above. At the center of that ruin stood an altar-like structure among the bones of countless universe-level warriors. A powerful figure sat cross-legged on it, receiving the silent homage of dead civilizations. He was roughly 3 meters tall and clad in ancient dark red battle armor. Where the armor left his body exposed, scales covered him, and 2 crimson horns crowned his forehead. He sat with his eyes closed, as if the vast and magnificent universe time-space origin laws revolved around him. The great being received a notification from the virtual universe system. A sliver of his consciousness split off to link to it. The report was about the talent war. He skimmed the details and froze on a name. Yang Wu? How interesting. This Yang Wu is truly interesting, the Primordial Chaos City Lord murmured. Judging by his growth rate in recent years alone, he's a genius who appears once every 10 million epochs. An astral rank warrior clearing the 7th Trial Tower, his grasp of the laws, his comprehension, his will and talent, there's nothing lacking. Even without considering other parts, his understanding of the laws alone makes him the strongest talent to emerge in countless ages. Compared to Cody, he's even more terrifying. He definitely has the potential to become a universe lord. At that thought, the Primordial Chaos City Lord opened his tightly closed eyes. His gaze spread wide and unfathomable, like the endless star-strewn sky. If Yang Wu did not fall in the Chaos City, Lord's estimation, the young warrior would almost certainly rise to become a universe exalt, and perhaps one day a universe lord capable of commanding time and space. Chapter 171, First Aftermath. In the long history of the human race, there had never been anyone like Yang Wu, a talent so anomalous it bordered on monstrous. Even universe lords had to stitch together countless rare opportunities to reach their heights. No one could say how many unique breaks they had taken to finally ascend. Yang Wu, by contrast, seemed to need almost none. Even if he's a monstrous talent, he's only at astral rank. A universe lord could reverse time and space to resurrect him without much trouble. The Primordial Chaos City Lord worried privately. But the alien powers aren't fools. Before they act, they'll leave spiritual imprints that can't be shaken off, even if he's brought back. They could capture him outright and enslave his spirit. Using his authority, he checked Yang Wu's location. Ganwu Great Star Region, Black Dragon Mountain Starfield, Chulong Star. Send my junior brother who hides in the dark to take a look, he ordered. An existence like Yangwu definitely warranted attention from a Universe Lord-level powerhouse. At the virtual universe's Great Axe battleground, the Great Axe founder, a being who sat near the apex of cosmic power, opened his eyes. The insect race, the monster race, the automaton race, they're all talking about this secretly. Yangwu may not be fated to join my battleground, but he's still the human race's strongest genius. On the 7th floor of the 7th trial tower, Yangwu stood amid ruin and silence. He had cleared the tower but had not been teleported out. A nagging question ate at him. Would he be allowed to leave when the full 490-day limit expired, or, as the trial instructions had hinted, would he have to die to exit? He looked at the devastated world around him and at the trial rankings. Bolin, currently second, hadn't even cleared the 3rd trial tower yet. The thought of waiting 490 days made him shake his head. Then suddenly, he ended his own life. His head flew up into the air, and the moment he died, he was catapulted to the central plaza. Silence fell over the virtual universe plaza. The 1008 Undying, assembled like an unblinking chorus, turned as one to regard the lone astral rank figure who had just materialized. He actually committed suicide, someone murmured. No one among the Undying had expected Yangwu, fresh from conquering the 7th trial tower, to choose death as his exit. 13 watched, managing a bemused smile. Still, he cleared it brilliantly. He's the pride of my Ganwu universe country. He's the first genius to emerge from the trial tower, another noted, and the fastest in the talent wars to clear all the towers. Historically, those rare geniuses who appeared once every 10 million eras often managed to clear the 7th trial tower. Some took longer, some were faster. Time passed, and Yangwu continued to cultivate even after his sudden arrival. Then, on the rankings board, the Undying noticed something else. Beside another genius's name, 2 blood-red characters appeared. Eliminated. The Undying's expressions hardened. The first genius to be eliminated by death besides Yangwu has appeared. From that moment, more would fall. The difficulty of the 7 trial towers was severe, and although the early towers posed less of a challenge, starting from the 1st floor of the 3rd trial tower, a wave of eliminations began. Within minutes, dozens of figures were teleported to the central plaza. Soon, hundreds of thousands had been sent there, and it turned out the 3rd trial tower had claimed the most lives, nearly 90% of the total. All those eliminated geniuses now stared at Yangwu as if he were an aberration. His score, 77,777,770,000, loomed insurmountable on the leaderboard. This Yangwu is too abnormal, they whispered. He cleared every trial tower and scored that many points. Disbelief rippled through the crowd. Previously, some of the Undying had still harbored a sliver of doubt about Yangwu's supremacy. Now they were convinced. He's even more monstrous than Bolin. What kinds of monsters are in this generation? Bolin alone would be enough to make people despair. And here's a Yangwu even stronger. Both Yangwu and Luo Feng come from the same place. I don't know how they were raised. I haven't found Luo Feng's ranking yet. Where is he? Yangwu's already the fastest to clear everything, and Luo Feng was one of the slowest to make progress. But with so many being eliminated, Luo Feng's rank will shoot up. Bolin and Rongjun both felt shaken. Bolin slowed his pace, perhaps stunned by Yangwu's point total. Rongjun, who had long respected Yangwu's talent and had been surprised by him many times, tried to keep his momentum. But while charging rapidly through the 5th trial tower, he was felled by the Zerg Mother Nest on its 7th floor and eliminated. In the central plaza, even eliminated geniuses could trade words. Rongjun laughed heartily, despite his own loss. Yangwu, congratulations. You really are a monster. I was killed by the Zerg Mother Nest in the 5th trial tower, but you killed its counterpart in the 7th, a creature 100 times stronger. I have nothing left to say. You're not bad either, Yangwu replied. Your points might still land you in the top 20. Other young geniuses, those who weren't intimately familiar with Yangwu, offered their congratulations with eager smiles. Over 99% of them knew they stood no chance of breaking into the top 1,000, yet being noticed by someone with Yangwu's potential made the entire talent war worthwhile. Even the usually aloof light saint was smiling, clearly excited. In the virtual universe, Ganwu Country Lord watched Yang Wu's figure with satisfaction. A genius of this caliber, if he didn't fall, historically had about a 1 in 3 chance of becoming a universe exalt. The thought brightened Ganwu Country Lord's outlook. Yang Wu is far from an ordinary once-in-10 million eras genius, he thought. His arrival eases some of my pressure. As he considered the rewards the human race would grant his Ganwu universe country, contribution points, status, the chance to erase old debts, his grin widened. If he could clear the slate for himself and his friends, he would feel satisfied. Ganwu Country Lord's anger only grew the more he thought. He sat on a scorching astral throne in the vast starry sky, the heat around it seeming to wither in his presence. Space itself warped, his figure blurred, as if the world dared not look him squarely in the face. I ordered you to cultivate geniuses in the Ganwu secret realm, he said, his voice a low fry like a distant thunderclap. These people were hand-picked from across the entire universe country, given the best resources and conditions. But none of them measure up to Yang Wu, let alone the wild geniuses like Rong Jun or Luo Feng. What good are you all to me? The words seethed with contempt. Ganwu Country Lord's hatred for his subordinates was plain, a group of useless teammates, all of them. Before him bowed 3 king-level undying in white robes, sweat shining on their brows. The Country Lord's final sentence seemed to reverberate inside their souls, amplifying until they felt entirely hollowed out. In the outside world, they were celebrated champions, feared across a region. Here, in the presence of their lord, they stared pale and knelt on the void. If you don't do better from now on, none of you need to return. The Country Lord's cold decree pressed into them like an edict from fate. We will, Country Lord, they replied in trembling unison. Go. He waved them away, and they vanished like leaves on a gale. Across the stars, the Black Dragon Mountain Empire erupted in celebration and disbelief. Yang Wu had taken the universe-wide #1 overall ranking. The universe's #1 is from our Black Dragon Mountain Empire? People cried. Butcher Yang Wu is unstoppable. He's the top genius of all 1008 universe countries, #1 in the entire human race. Word of Yang Wu's point total raced through the empire and beyond, astounding everyone. The Ganwu universe country was enormous, but the Black Dragon Mountain starfield was only a small speck within it. That such a peerless genius should emerge from a remote corner like Black Dragon Mountain was almost impossible, and so the news sent shockwaves of pride through the empire. Bring Butcher Yang Wu to strengthen our Black Dragon Mountain. The chant rolled across Black Dragon Mountain Island like thunder. The emperor himself took to a grand broadcast, his voice booming over the waves of static and starlight. Yang Wu hails from our Milky Way galaxy in the Black Dragon Mountain starfield, he announced. I have decided to bestow his birthplace, the Milky Way galaxy, to Yang Wu. From today onward, Yang Wu is the lord of the Milky Way galaxy. It was a show of favoritism, of course. The royal family had already promised to grant him the galaxy, and now they flaunted it to raise his status. Yang Wu listened in awkward silence. In the long run, what was the value of a galaxy compared to the fortunes he sought? He felt more bemused than honored. Meanwhile, throughout the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, Yang Wu's fame swelled. Posters, invitations, and supplications filled public squares. The empire, small and previously obscure on the cosmic map, basked in reflected glory. In the virtual universe, Yang Wu detached part of his consciousness to watch Luo Feng and the others challenge the trial tower. With Primordial Chaos City Lord's authority in the virtual universe, pinpointing Yang Wu's login location was effortless. He was the first universe lord to arrive. After him came others, the virtual Gold Lord from the Great Axe Battleground, a universe mercenary, representatives from the Universe Galaxy Bank and the Universe First Bank. 5 universe lords in total had descended, a show of force meant to keep any troublemakers in line. Given Yang Wu's prodigious talent, even a venerable could cause complications, so such oversight was justified. A golden-robed figure stepped from a swirl of chaotic airflow. Primordial Chaos City Lord exuded a faint yet overwhelming aura that made Yang Wu hold his breath. He scanned Yang Wu once, and his eyes blazed. His life gene level has actually reached 30-fold, he muttered to himself. Primordial Chaos City Lord's perception as a universe lord was razor sharp. He understood what a 30-fold life gene level implied, and it left him significantly unsettled. An astral-ranked human whose life gene level had reached 30-fold was unprecedented in human race history. Even those who achieved greatness often did so by nurturing auxiliary life forms or clones. Such a feat for the main body was nearly unheard of. Fusing 10 Blood River crystals would normally get you a 10-fold life gene level, he mused. But Yang Wu's at 30-fold. How did he manage that? Then his eyes widened further as he realized the truth. Wait, that's a World Tree clone. For someone like Primordial Chaos City Lord, Yang Wu's World Tree clone could not be hidden. But to see a World Tree clone with a life gene level equivalent to 9,000-fold, that was beyond comprehension. Across the whole human race, fewer than 3 Universe Lords could match the life gene level displayed by Yang Wu's World Tree clone. Primordial Chaos City Lord himself possessed 3 major clones, and he knew all too well the limits of clone cultivation. Clones could help nurture other life forms, but there were strict restrictions. Very rarely could a clone nurture a life form even 10 times stronger than its origin. 100-fold was a fantasy. To create something 1,000 times stronger was practically impossible. And a world tree, one of the most miraculous, terrifying life forms in the cosmos, was the sort of being even high-ranked powers struggled to nurture. Some famous figures, like Luo Feng, renowned as the son of fortune in devouring the heavens, had still failed to cultivate a world tree clone. Primordial Chaos City Lord's voice softened, filled with a sudden, almost tender approval. Good, 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 he said 3 times, the meaning of each good deep and sincere. The more potential a being had, the more he prized them. Laziness or not, his priorities always served the race. Around them, the other Universe Lords watched in grim silence, feeling the earthquake of a revelation they were only beginning to understand. Yang Wu's presence had become a problem no one could ignore, and a prize no one could pass up. Chapter 173, The Trial is Over. 5 Universe Lords have already gathered here. Even if the insect race, monster race, and automaton race wanted to eliminate Yang Wu, they won't act now. Universe exalts are meaningless. If a Universe Lord dared to enter human territory, they wouldn't show their faces. With the virtual universe's surveillance, even a Universe Lord couldn't hide inside human territory. This is the human heartland. If they truly came, we might even capture a few alien Universe Lords. One by one, the Universe Lords descended on Ganwu Universe country, some nearer, some further away. When they came before Primordial Chaos City Lord and saw him staring into space, they raised their eyebrows. What's gotten into you, Primordial Chaos? Why so stunned? Virtual Gold Lord asked. But when the others looked at Yang Wu, their expressions changed. In terms of life gene hierarchy, not one of them outranked him. Since this talent war was organized by our Virtual Universe Corporation, I'll take him back to the Primordial Universe. Primordial Chaos City Lord declared, taking charge. The other 4 Universe Lords exchanged glances, feeling helpless. Yang Wu might eventually add another Universe Lord to their ranks. When he reached Exalt rank, with his terrifying World Tree clone, he could be comparable to a Universe Lord. Primordial Chaos City Lord teleported Yang Wu repeatedly using divine plane transfers until they arrived at Primordial Chaos City in the Primordial Universe. For a genius like Yang Wu, he had no intention of letting him wander off. You may choose an uninhabited courtyard here, the City Lord said. The moment you arrive in Primordial Chaos City, you gain permanent residency. Permanent residency in Primordial Chaos City? Even for someone as talented as Yang Wu, that would normally take a very long time. Your talent has made many other races nervous. Powerful enemies will come to assassinate you, the City Lord warned. Except for trips to the 4 secret realms, try not to leave Primordial Chaos City unless absolutely necessary. He explained the core of the Virtual Universe Corporation, the 4 secret realms, Primitive, Taichu, Heaven and Earth, and Doomsday, with the Primitive Mystical Region, the highest, and the Doomsday Mystery Realm, the lowest. Yes, Master. Yang Wu bowed slightly. Our virtual universe cultivates geniuses. Those with greater talent get more resources, especially once you reach World Lord rank. Since you've become my disciple, I'll allocate some resources to help you grow quickly. Thank you, teacher. Yang Wu's heart leapt. I'll give you an extra 20 opportunities to comprehend the Universe Chaos Tablet and 100 million points, Primordial Chaos City Lord continued. 20 comprehension opportunities might sound modest, but their value was immense. Such comprehension opportunities could not be bought or traded, not even with infinite points. Normally, Yang Wu would gain only one extra opportunity for each layer of the Universe Tongqian Bridge he passed. If he reached the 21st layer and became a Universe Exalt, he'd have only 21 chances in total. Adding 20 more out of nowhere was worth far more than the points. I don't have much time. Ninesword Exalt will guide your early cultivation, the City Lord added. Talent alone won't make you a powerhouse. Remember the Personal Disciples Trial. Also, including your World Tree clone, you can apply for nutrient solutions for each stage through the virtual network. Near the City Lord's mansion, Yang Wu selected an uninhabited courtyard. Shortly after he moved in, someone knocked on his door. He opened it to find a powerful Undying whose appearance differed slightly from an Earthling, an aura so strong he had to deliberately hold it back. The will he radiated remained fearsome. Your Highness, I'm the captain of the guard assigned by the City Lord. Call me Harrison, the Undying spiritual god said with a faint smile. I am Yang Wu. Pleased to meet you, Yang Wu replied. Though he had no plans to leave the primordial universe soon, and the guard's role wasn't monumental, Harrison was a powerful Undying. The City Lord and the Lords have high expectations of you because of your unique nature, Harrison continued. So your guard team is far above the standard original area allotment. Yang Wu knew the Lords Harrison meant were the Universe Lords who had come earlier. 1 captain, 1,000 ordinary guards, Harrison outlined. I'm a king-level invincible Undying. The 1,000 ordinary guards are at least military lord rank Undyings. To serve on his team in Primordial Chaos City, they had to be elite among military lord ranks, likely comparable to Hu Yanbo. Harrison himself approached Exalt rank. After some time with the guard team, Yang Wu entered the virtual universe and continued participating in the talent war. The contest had both main quests and advancement quests, so he watched closely. Time slipped away. More than a year passed in the blink of an eye as one genius after another strove and fell. When Luo Feng died on the first layer of the 6th trial tower, it marked the official end of the first stage of trials and eliminations. Haha, what do you all think of Luo Feng from my Ganwu Universe country? How was his strength? 13 asked the other Undyings. Word is Yang Wu and Luo Feng are both from Earth? Earthlings are terrifying, someone replied. Yang Wu is undeniably the strongest genius, no argument there, another said. As for Luo Feng, he cultivated the space-type flying secret method, 10,000 thread flow, to the 2nd layer, and his divine weapon could manipulate 9 golden swords. His foundation was solid. Earthlings are calm and have huge potential. Luo Feng's current strength could be top 10. He might even break into the top 5 in the trial space rankings. In a real arena, he still had a chance at top 10. The Undyings nodded. Trials couldn't perfectly reflect true power. Take Illusion Demon Galaxy of the Howl God race, once regarded as a top 20 genius, yet his trial ranking was only 190th. Did that mean he was weak? Among millions of geniuses, the truly outstanding ones didn't yield easily. They had absolute confidence. But facing Yang Wu, many of them felt desperate. Luo Feng, hailing from Earth like Yang Wu, had become an opponent not to be underestimated. Chapter 174, The Unwilling Bolin. Please order. Your Highness, this Luo Feng is incredibly strong, the steel-muscled man murmured. Beside him stood Uka, the Prince of Manka Star, his eyes narrowing. A moment earlier, Uka had been certain Luo Feng couldn't make it past the 7th level of the 5th trial tower. He'd also been convinced that in a one-on-one fight, he would have no trouble defeating him. Now he realized he'd been wrong. This Earthling was another monster. Luo Feng. Rongjun, the wild-haired youth, stared at the screen, stunned. Yang Wu was terrifying enough, but I didn't expect Luo Feng's progress to be this frightening. Across the plaza, a man swathed in a black robe, the illusionist Galaxy, known as the Phantom Demon, spoke to himself with a mocking confidence. Although his trial ranking sat only at 190, he carried an air of invulnerability. Even facing titans like Bolin and Yang Wu, both veterans of the 7th trial tower, he radiated certainty. He believed his potent illusions would make mincemeat of any opponent in this talent war. Yang Wu, Bolin, Luo Feng, the trial tower's hogging all the spotlight, he muttered. Just you wait. I'll show you all that rankings in the trial space are nothing but camel dung. I'll beat every one of you, even Death God Bolin and Butcher Yang Wu. Bolin, however, paid him no mind. He watched Yang Wu for a long beat, then turned and left. For the first time he had met someone he could call a true opponent, someone who left him with a sense of helplessness. Meanwhile, Luo Feng scanned the crowd until he found the Ganwu Universe Country's team and hurried over. Is he the madman Luo Feng? A voice whispered. Fourth overall? I've never heard of him before. How can he be so strong? Luo Feng returned to the Ganwu team as the murmurs swelled. Brother Yang, you did too much, he called when Yang Wu appeared. His excitement was hard to hide. I only just got in, and you've already cleared it. A deep, steely voice cut across the central plaza. Yang Wu, Luo Feng, Rongjun, follow me. All three turned toward the sound. At that moment, every one of the 1008 undying beings had already risen, sweeping through the air toward their universe country genius teams. The rest of you, return to your residences. 13 commanded as he descended into the Ganwu Universe Country's team, and the other undying echoed the order. One by one, the genius teams returned to their quarters. On the first floor of Building 0825, the 1,000 members of the Ganwu Genius team stood assembled. 13, usually reserved, looked unusually pleased. This time, the Ganwu Universe Country performed exceptionally well, he announced, his voice carrying approval through the hall. It was plain why. Yang Wu had clinched first place overall, and both Luo Feng and Rongjun had broken into the top 20. 3 of the top 20 belonged to Ganwu, a fact that alone would boost the country's standing and earn generous rewards from the country lord. 13 could take credit for little. The team had excelled on its own. Yang Wu, you cleared the 7th trial tower outright. That proved your potential and strength beyond doubt, he added. Eyes around the room locked onto Yang Wu with a mixture of envy and admiration. Besides Yang Wu, Luo Feng and Rongjun, you two are within the top 100, 13 continued. So the 3 of you qualified directly to enter the core layer of the Virtual Universe Corporation. He paused, letting the weight of the announcement fall across the hall. Excluding them, among the remaining 1,000, you've given me several pleasant surprises. 3 of you ranked among the top 7,300, qualifying to fight for the final 900 spots. But, his tone turned grave, for the rest of you, the peak talent war ends here. 13's words hit like a cold wave. He told those who had been eliminated they could either return their consciousness to reality immediately or wait for the virtual universe system to teleport them back to the Ganwu continent. More than 900 faces fell at once. Years of effort, countless sacrifices, their runs in the talent war had ended, many without a single chance to move forward. Some accepted it stoically, others mourned quietly. Yang Wu, Luo Feng, Rongjun, the 6 of you, follow me, 13 ordered as he turned and walked into the corridor. Yang Wu, Luo Feng, Rongjun, and 3 other geniuses trailed after him. The remaining team members watched with heavy hearts as the chosen left. It's over, someone whispered. Our talent war is finished for this round. But to have witnessed a genius like Yang Wu in our lifetime, that's worth it. At least we have the Ganwu Secret Realm invitation. That's not nothing. Don't accept defeat. We're only astral rank. Our cultivation journey is just beginning. Exactly. Even if they reach the core layer, becoming undying is still a huge challenge. In the secret realm, we still have hope. Conversations like that flared up again and again as the defeated dispersed to rest or to parse their losses. Though deaths in the trial tower were not permanent, restored by the virtual universe system, the drain from high-intensity combat left many exhausted. Most of those who survived the elimination rounds rested up for the arena finals scheduled for the next day. Others, unwilling to accept the result, spent the quiet hours sharpening skills and training. In room 1 of Building No 0112, Bolin sat cross-legged. When he opened his eyes, a fierce unwillingness burned within them. He tightened his grip on the blood-colored longsword at his side until the leather hilt creaked. A low, suppressed growl escaped him, raw and animal. He had once looked inevitable as the Talent War's champion. He had shown terrifying potential long ago. Then Yang Wu appeared and spoiled that certainty. Why? Bolin hissed to himself. Why couldn't I even pass the first trial tower? Why is the gap between me and Yang Wu so wide? Chaos churned inside his mind like a storm, tearing through his ability to cultivate. Pain, fury, and resentment gnawed at him. For the first time in a long time, Bolin felt truly unsettled, haunted by an unwelcome realization that might not be so easy to overcome. Chapter 175, Arena Showdown. Yang Wu, I, Bolin, will never surrender. I am the strongest genius. Faster. No, calm down. I need to calm down. Bolin's mind churned with only one thought, to push himself harder. No, I must reach undying status faster, become a champion, a king among the undying. The undying leader of the universe nation sighed and shook his head. He knew Bolin well. Bolin was proud, arrogant even. It made sense. He was a 1 in 10,000 epoch genius, someone who'd always been far ahead of his peers, growing up accustomed to being stronger than everyone around him. That bred arrogance. But Bolin's choices worried many. He had started studying the wind origin law before the talent war, hoping to use wind as a stepping stone toward researching the time origin law. Many of the Noah nation's undying lamented that decision. During the talent war, his comprehension of the space origin law already surpassed many world lords, but he was too proud to focus on space, they said. Logically, with such spatial talent, he should specialize in space origin, devote all his energy there, and he might become a space venerable. What a waste. He's far too proud. Most geniuses with extraordinary gifts carried overblown confidence. Hong was different, also invincible on Earth, but humble, with an ethereal, boundless inner self. Bolin's arrogance, the undying leader thought, made him deaf to advice. Now he's trying to cultivate both space and time like Yang Wu. He simply lacks the ability, the leader mused. He's anxious because a peer has surpassed him. That anxiety could be a curse, or it could drive him to finally see his true position. Tomorrow's qualification battles. We'll be watching 3 of you, Yang Wu, Luo Feng, and Rong Jun. The others may leave. 13's face was hopeful. Understood. The 3 exchanged glances, smiling wryly. None of them expected to crack the overall top 1,000. As the eliminated geniuses were escorted out of the massive room, only Yang Wu, Luo Feng, Rong Jun, and the undying leader remained. 14th, 4th, 1st, said 13, solemn. Luo Feng, Rong Jun, you're not getting complacent, are you? No, Rong Jun shook his head. The trial tower proves nothing. Luo Feng echoed him. The scale-armored giant snorted. Good, you two haven't let this small honor carry you away. There are 3 spots allotted for this primitive mystical region session. Yang Wu and Bolin will certainly take 2. For you two, only securing that last spot would be a real success. Even if your rankings are high, don't relax. Some who ranked outside the top 20 this time could be stronger than you. That's all. Go rest, especially you, Yang Wu. Bolin is extremely arrogant and won't admit defeat easily. But compared to you, he's far beneath you. That night, millions of eliminated geniuses were teleported away. In Building 0825, only 7 people remained, the undying leader and the 4 geniuses with a few attendants. The next morning, 7,300 contestants, including Yang Wu, Luo Feng, and Rong Jun, assembled in the central plaza. An invisible aura swept over the crowd, and 9-Sword Exalt appeared, hovering in midair. First, congratulations to those ranked 1 to 100, 9-Sword Exalt announced. You have directly qualified to enter the core layer of the Virtual Universe Corporation. If anyone objects, speak now. My corporation will not force you. His voice echoed in every mind. No one objected. Joining the Virtual Universe Corporation had been the goal of almost every participant. Very good. As for those ranked 101 to 7,300, you must still compete in the arena. Based on your trial space performance, the Virtual Universe system has matched you into opponents. Whoever wins 3 consecutive battles earns a spot. Losers will be immediately eliminated. The arena battles began. The 101st to 7,300th place trial takers fought for the remaining 900 spots. Meanwhile, the top 100 sat and watched. The eliminations were swift and brutal. In just over an hour, after 3 merciless rounds, the final 900 were chosen. Those defeated vanished in flashes of light. When it finished, 900 figures materialized around Yang Wu and the others. Most were ecstatic, a few were unnervingly calm, like the tall, thin man cloaked in black. He was Galaxy, the illusion demon, rumored to be the strongest illusionist in this session and a contender for the top 10. In all 3 rounds, he had barely moved, defeating opponents by projecting illusory bodies. No wonder the Undying believe illusion demon Galaxy can break the top 10, Luo Feng murmured in surprise. He's very strong. Illusionists are unpredictable, Rong Jun said, face grim. Pure soul attacks aren't terrifying to a Psyker master, but combined with illusions, they become deadly. Because an illusion can make someone fall without even realizing it, illusionists are natural enemies of warriors, Luo Feng added. Even if your raw combat power is greater, if your will falters, you can lose to someone like Galaxy. Yang Wu looked at the man on the screen and shrugged. So. Against you or Luo Feng, he'd still have a hard time winning. Most geniuses' wills are weak, far weaker than yours or mine. Around them, the newly qualified contestants exchanged looks. The stage had been set. The arena would soon determine who survived and who would be sent away. Chapter 176, Status, 4 Secret Realms. Please order. When Rong Jun and Luo Feng had sparred, it had been a clash of wills, and they had been evenly matched. Perhaps that experience helped now. If Luo Feng could recover consciousness easily, then Rong Jun could as well, not to mention Yang Wu at his current level. The tall, thin man in black robes suddenly turned his strange eyes toward Yang Wu. There was an unsettling, almost hypnotic quality to his gaze, but Yang Wu brushed it off with disdain. His will was already exceptionally strong, and with the blessing of an extraordinary mindset, he felt no effect at all. Around them, many prodigies who considered themselves top 10 or top 20, or who at least hoped to be, watched closely. First, congratulations to you, 1000. Ninesword Exalt's figure reappeared in the air in front of them. You 1000 are the most outstanding geniuses selected from the 1008 universe countries of the human race. After you join the Virtual Universe Corporation, we will cultivate you thoroughly. If anyone refuses to join, you may say so now. No one spoke. Very good. However, you should understand that there is competition everywhere in the universe, Ninesword Exalt continued. You 1000 cannot all be treated the same. Resource allocation will differ because my Virtual Universe Corporation dares not squander such precious talent. I will announce the distribution now. First to third place may enter Initial Universe Chaos City, join the Virtual Universe Corporation's Primitive Mystical Region, and each will receive a bonus of 10,000 Primal Chaos units. Fourth to 10th place may enter Initial Universe Chaos City, join the highest beginning mythical region, and each will receive a bonus of 1,000 Primal Chaos units. 11th to 100th place may enter Initial Universe Chaos City, join the Heaven and Earth Secret Realm, and each will receive a bonus of 100 Primal Chaos units. 101st to 1,000th place may enter Initial Universe Chaos City, join the Doomsday Mystery Realm, and each will receive a bonus of 10 Primal Chaos units. Many heard of the 4 secret realms for the first time. From the rewards, it was clear the Primitive Mystical Region was the prize everyone most coveted. Normally, the Primitive Mystical Region admits only 1 genius per session, Ninesword Exalt said, but this session produced Yang Wu and Bolin, and the overall quality of the cohort is excellent. After discussions among the Virtual Universe Corporation's highest echelons, it was decided to grant this session 3 spots in the Primitive Mystical Region. Whether there were 3 spots or fewer made little difference to Yang Wu. The others glanced at Yang Wu and Bolin, recognizing that those two far outshone the ordinary geniuses. The final arena battles to determine the overall rankings will begin tomorrow, Ninesword Exalt announced. The rules have been transmitted to each of you. Rest well tonight. Boom. He vanished. The 1008 powerful Undying and the gathered geniuses began to discuss the announcement heatedly. 3 spots for the Primitive Mystical Region? I thought that would go to Yang Wu alone. Who are the other 2? The Virtual Universe Corporation is unusually generous this time. It must be because of Yang Wu and Bolin. The rules for the final battles had already been transmitted to their screens. In short, based on performances in the trial space and the 3 rounds of elimination battles, The virtual universe system selected 100 participants. These 100, Galaxy among them, would face the top 100 from the trial space in one-on-one duels. The 100 winners of those duels would qualify for the Heaven and Earth Secret Realm. The 800 who did not participate in the duels, along with the 100 who lost in the arena, would go to the Doomsday Mystery Realm. From the 100 duel winners, the virtual universe system would select the 20 most outstanding individuals. Those 20 would fight one-on-one to determine the top 10, and from those 10, the first, second, and third places would be chosen. These 3 would enter the primitive mystical region. This process relegated 800 of the 1,000 participants to the Doomsday Mystery Realm without giving them a chance in the decisive duels. Naturally, many of those 800 were furious. "How can this be? Unfair. We were excluded without a chance," they cried. "Quiet." One by one, the Undying roared. Each released a wave of conscious pressure that pressed down on the noisy crowd. Only when all 800 were kneeling on the ground did the Undying retract their pressure. "Foolish," an Undying said, looking at the kneeling geniuses with a shake of his head. "Do you think the rules set by the Virtual Universe Corporation's high-level executives can be changed by you? You're overestimating yourselves." "If it had been Yang Wu who objected, perhaps it would have been heard," another added. "But you, standing at the outer threshold of the core layer, dare to complain about the Doomsday Mystery Realm?" They might be the top geniuses of their home universe countries, but within the Virtual Universe Corporation, they were ordinary. This organization held a talent war for astral rank every 10,000 years and a universe rank contest as well. Countless geniuses and powerful figures gathered here. These newcomers weren't as important as they imagined. Later, in the first floor of Building 0825, Yang Wu, Luo Feng, and Rong Jun gathered. Everyone else from their circle had been eliminated. "Earlier I did well and felt some pride," Luo Feng said quietly, "but that scene was a lesson. To the Virtual Universe Corporation, we're just a batch of seeds absorbed every 10,000 years. A genius like Yang Wu may not appear even once in tens of millions of eras, but there are many like me. I need to work harder and emulate him." Status changes everything. "What one person says matters differently at different levels," Rong Jun remarked, glancing at Yang Wu. "Geniuses are still only geniuses." Yang Wu shook his head slightly. "Before we grow up, it's best to stay humble." They all understood their current strength was still weak. The reason they had been accepted by the Virtual Universe Corporation was their potential, the potential to become truly powerful in the future. If their potential remained strong and they continued to grow, their status would eventually rise to match those who now held the power. Chapter 177, Phantom Galaxy. "The two of us will both break into the top 10, and will show those humans from other universe nations that our Earth isn't some backward backwater." Luo Feng roared with excitement. "To enjoy the best cultivation resources, you have to keep pushing," Rong Jun said, his eyes burning like torches. The fighting spirit in his chest was overflowing. Behind them, a swarm of peerless geniuses watched covetously. If Luo Feng or Rong Jun slipped even slightly, someone else would take their place. That simple truth, the capable rise, the weak fall, was the life they all accepted. The next morning, the 1,000 peerless geniuses assembled again in the central plaza. "Exalt!" The 1008 Undying bowed in unison. Nine-Sword Exalt hovered in the distant sky, nodding once, then looked down at the gathered crowd. "Today is a good day. Within a single day, we will narrow you 1,000 down to the top 100, then the top 20, the top 10, and finally decide first, second, and third. Are you all ready? Then let the grand finals begin." He gestured, and 100 silver arenas sprung up across the plaza. Each was about 10 miles in diameter, their rims sealed with black netting. 2 contestants were teleported into each arena, 200 geniuses selected by the Virtual Universe System, including Yang Wu. Everyone watched closely. Even though Yang Wu's battles were known to be brief, the crowd expected fireworks. In the first match, Yang Wu ended it with a single punch and stepped directly into the top 100. His prize rose to 100 primal chaos units and qualified him for the Virtual Universe Corporation's Heaven and Earth Secret Realm. One by one, the arenas produced winners. When it was over, Ninesword Exalt smiled faintly. Congratulations to those of you who remain. You've all earned entry to the Heaven and Earth Secret Realm. Next, we will choose 20 outstanding individuals from your ranks for the decisive battles. Tension tightened at the edges of the plaza. The thought of being eliminated without a chance to fight gnawed at those whose names weren't guaranteed. The virtual universe system selection is ready. I will now announce the 20. Ninesword Exalt began to call names. Yang Wu. The crowd's attention snapped. He was called first, universally recognized as the top genius of this talent war. Bolan, Galesi, Uka, Rongjun, Luo Feng, Chen Shui. The list continued. 20 of you, go down and rest. Recover your primal force, psychic power, and other energies from the earlier battles, Ninesword Exalt instructed. As for your next opponents, you'll find out when the next round begins. 80 victors whose names weren't called could only watch anxiously. Being a winner was one thing. Being among the elite 20 was another. Half an hour later, the entire plaza shook. 10 giant arenas rose from the center, each vast enough for a true duel of champions. The 20 who had been resting were teleported into those arenas, 2 to a ring, 10 peak matchups. Galesi's opponent is Butcher Yang Wu, whispers swept the watching ranks. Don't underestimate Yang Wu. I've watched all his combat vids. He never looks flustered. Yeah, his state of mind is always calm, detached, almost arrogant. Nothing seems to rattle him. Galesi's unlucky then. Still, Galesi's illusions are no joke. Psyker Masters split into 2 main schools, controllers like Luo Feng, who used psychic weapons and direct destructive force, and illusionists like Galesi, who attacked the mind and soul. Among the 20, beyond Yang Wu and Bolan, the most feared was the so-called illusion demon Galesi. His techniques bent perception and shredded will. Facing him made even seasoned geniuses uneasy. This one's hard to predict, one onlooker murmured. Can Yang Wu's will hold up against soul attacks? Galesi might stop at the Heaven and Earth Secret Realm and miss the highest beginning mythical region, another said. And Blood Axe Tao ran into Bolan. That's rough. Yang Wu and Bolan were anomalies, 2 peerless geniuses who only appeared once in many talent wars. The Virtual Universe Corporation had even increased recruitment slots in the primitive mystical region to account for them. The odds of Gessi or Tao pulling an upset were slim. On his side of the arena, Yang Wu stood in blood-colored battle armor, the time-space blade strapped to his back. Across from him, illusion demon Galesi was a tall, thin figure in a black robe, balanced on a black light wheel. I didn't expect Galesi. This shouldn't have happened. Yang Wu murmured, eyebrow raised. He wondered if the primordial Chaos City Lord had a hand in the matchmaking. Yang Wu glanced toward Luo Feng's arena and exhaled. At least Luo Feng had decent luck. You still have time to look around? Galesi snapped. Beating you won't take any preparation, Yang Wu said coolly. An illusionist's success is hard to attain, but once achieved, terrifyingly effective. The trick was finding a foe whose will they couldn't break. Yang Wu's calm, composed psyche made him a dangerous match for Galesi. Butcher Yang Wu, Galesi said, contempt and challenge mingling in his voice. You may be the strongest ordinary genius, but against me, you'll be eliminated from the top 10. Confident, Yang Wu replied, the corner of his mouth lifting. Humph. Galesi's laugh was cold. You've grasped the time-space origin laws, but how fast can you move compared to an attack on the soul? Ninesword Exalt's voice carried over all 10 arenas. Little ones who reach the top 10, do not be careless. All your opponents are formidable. His gaze flicked toward Yang Wu and Galesi with something like curiosity. Begin. Instantly, the 10 arenas erupted. Bang! 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 Galesi rose onto his black light wheel and drew his mind inward like a dagger, weaving phantom images that rippled the air. Faced with a master of illusions, the arena blurred, and the very space around Yang Wu seemed to thicken with falsehood. Yang Wu's inner world contracted, a cold, focused spark of will gathering at the center of his being. Time and space hummed in response to his intent. The faint silver shimmer of the time-space blade on his back pulsed as if echoing his resolve. Where Galesi sought to slice the soul, Yang Wu would answer with the precision of origin laws. Around them, the crowd held its breath. 10 peak duels had begun, but all eyes were riveted on the clash between the butcher who struck so decisively and the phantom demon who hunted minds. Chapter 178, Shocked. Chaos City Lord, please order Buzz. A wave of invisible psionic force and a surge of soul fluctuations slammed into Yang Wu, invading his mind and spirit. The soul assault traveled faster than Yang Wu's blade, and the moment the illusion demon Galaxy cast his mental illusion, he also launched his psionic weapon. On the arena, Galaxy was the first to strike with both mental illusion and psionic weapon at once. In an instant, the illusion and soul attack poured into Yang Wu's sea of consciousness and pierced his soul. One moment he was clashing with Galaxy, the next he plunged into a separate illusory world. The soul attack carved it into him like a sharp spike, but Yang Wu's soul was boundless and ethereal. Bang! The illusory world shattered in a heartbeat. Yang Wu snapped completely awake. Unlike the hazy illusions before, the scene now before him was crystal clear, a true virtual universe, an exact simulation of reality. Something's there. Yang Wu smiled faintly. Then you go to hell. How could he be completely unaffected by the illusion? Galaxy, who had been controlling the psionic weapon, stared at the descending Yang Wu in horror. The illusion had been broken instantly. Shock flickered across his face, but he reacted without hesitation. Shards of golden armor condensed around him. A strange protective shell formed from countless fragments, but before it could reach full strength, bang! Yang Wu threw a casual punch that blasted open the armor Galaxy had just formed. The blow reduced the black-robed Illusion Demon Galaxy to dust. Illusion Demon Galaxy had fallen. Butcher Yang Wu had won, and he surged directly into the top 10. This was the nature of master-level combat. If Yang Wu had awakened a fraction slower, despite his strength, his head might have been severed. Once he broke free of the illusion, the gap between them was like a chasm, fatal for Galaxy. How is this possible? The black-robed Galaxy widened his eyes in disbelief. The Lord of the Nation told me when he guided me that my bewitching God's secret method is supremely powerful. There should be no astral rank existence whose will could resist it. The Lord of the Nation assured me I would reach the top 10 for sure, maybe even second place. But this Yang Wu, he's too solid. I thought that even if he fell into the illusion and didn't lose his mind, he would still take time to struggle free. That little bit of time would have been enough for me to kill him. Yet he wasn't affected by the illusion at all? Galaxy had defenses. His psionic armor could probably withstand the strongest attacks of the top 100 geniuses. His soul force, psionic weapon, and terrifying illusion together made him an absolutely fearsome opponent in a one-on-one duel. Even Bolin might not have been guaranteed victory. Yet he had been cut down in a single blow by Yang Wu's strike. The onlookers all reacted. Lost so quickly? Illusion Demon Galaxy actually lost? Many of the geniuses watching were stunned. In previous battles, Galaxy's illusions had been overwhelming. He had defeated foes repeatedly without needing psionic weapons, simply dissolving them with soul assaults inside his illusions. This time, he had not been negligent. He had treated Butcher Yang Wu as a serious threat and unleashed soul attack, illusion, and psionic weapon all at once. He had gone all out and still lost instantly. The 108 powerful Undyings and the 9-sword exalts in the distance all brightened with interest. Yang Wu's victory, while not entirely unexpected, was still astonishing. Everyone knew how incomparable and terrifying a master illusionist could be. Many among the 1008 powerful Undyings had even considered Galaxy a likely victor. How strong must one's will be to wake up instantly, someone murmured. How terrifying his mental fortitude is. Amazing. Truly frightening. Even the 9-sword exalts were filled with shock at Yang Wu's iron will. Far above, in the virtual universe Talent War Divine Plane, a majestic palace wreathed in turbulent auras housed the presence of the primordial Chaos City Lord. Watching Yang Wu and Galaxy's duel, the City Lord's eyes brightened. It seems I underestimated him, only assigning him the 9th floor task. Primordial Chaos City Lord smiled. His smile made the surrounding space feel lighter and almost joyous. Soul strength, will, and mental state are subtle, elusive things. A mere apprentice-level cultivator can, in terms of pure will and mental resilience, rival a world lord. Of course, his soul strength may be far inferior to a world lord's, but will alone is difficult to judge. An ordinary world lord, relying on tremendous soul pressure, can easily crush an astral rank opponent even if his will is unremarkable. His soul consciousness alone is overwhelming. To the primordial Chaos City Lord, Yang Wu's talent in the time-space origin laws was simply prodigious. But however exceptional his time-space aptitude, primordial Chaos City Lord had not expected Yang Wu's will to be so terrifying. High talent and quick comprehension, when nurtured with superior resources, produce peerless geniuses, singular figures who follow one of two paths. They either hit a dead end and fall, or they surge ever forward to become super powerhouses. Ever since I learned he has a 9,000-fold life gene level and a world tree clone skilled in time-space origin laws, I never doubted his talent and comprehension, the City Lord mused. I just didn't expect his will to be this formidable. His eyes held satisfaction. There's a very real possibility he could become a universe lord. On one of the 10 arenas, Bolin, the god of death bearing a blood sword, had been the second to win. He glanced toward Yang Wu's arena, frowning as he thought. He believed he could have beaten Galaxy 2, but it would not have been as effortless as Yang Wu's victory. After Yang Wu and Bolin, the next to secure victory was the green-haired girl, Qian Shui. Her eyes shone with tears as she looked toward Yang Wu's distant arena. Poof! The young man Jiang Mo, his face marked with mystic sigils, also stood victorious on his arena with a slight smile. He too sported green hair. Brother! Brother! Qian Shui cried, ecstatic. Her brother Jiang Mo had also made the top 10. The sibling pair had at least guaranteed themselves entry into the highest beginning mythical region. Chapter 1179, Top 10, Unlucky Rongjun, please order. The 10 arena winners were announced one after another. Yang Wu, Bolin, Qian Shui, Jiang Mo, Luo Feng, Long Yun, Ai Chen, Lancelot, and finally, Rongjun. Ha ha! The scale-armored giant, 13, couldn't help laughing out loud. 3 places in the top 10 belonged to the Ganwu Universe country. How many talent wars had there been? When had the Ganwu Universe country ever achieved results like this? When had they ever been so proud? 13 made a killing this time. The country lord will definitely reward him when they get back. Really, the Ganwu Universe country made a huge splash this time. That's right. They were 825th among the 1,008 universe countries before, but after this talent war, they'll at least climb dozens of places. Luo Feng is one thing, he's an outlier, but Yang Wu's talent is incomparable. His will was so strong, even Galaxy's illusions couldn't rattle him. And this Rongjun, he was hiding deep down, but he's only astral rank, and he dared to create his own blade technique. That's too early. How many self-created blade techniques have astral ranks ever produced? If he insists on creating one now, he can barely walk, yet wants to fly. Rongjun's combat talent was astonishing. His law comprehension wasn't exceptional, but his self-made blade technique let him unleash tremendous fighting power. Creating a blade technique at such a young stage marked him as a very gifted genius. Still, on the grand scale of the primordial universe, many secret methods created by Undyings are low-tier. Hu Yanbo's soul imprint barely escaped low-tier status and only counted as a common secret method, so making a secret method this early was risky. According to Yang Wu, though, Rongjun had always followed the path of self-created secret methods. There were 1,000 paths. What mattered was sticking to one and walking it through. Any completed path could lead to true strength. You can't dismiss it yet, one Undying said. When he sees more secret methods, Rongjun can refine his own blade technique. The worst danger with self-creation is taking the wrong path. Correcting it later takes 10 or 100 times the effort. Besides, how long does a world lord below Undying live? Only 1,000 eras. Sigh, we'll see. No matter how you looked at it, the Ganwu Universe country having Yang Wu, Luo Feng, and Rongjun in the top 10 guaranteed them a brilliant showing. The assembled Undyings discussed the 3 incessantly. Rongjun in particular, previously inconspicuous but erupting at the end, drew a lot of attention. Ninesword Exalt rose into the air again. All 1,000 geniuses focused on him. Congratulations to the 10 of you, he announced. You will enter the top 10. Your prize increases to 1,000 primal chaos units, and you will at least qualify for the highest beginning mythical region. This top 10 round was thrilling. Several youngsters unexpectedly defeated their opponents, and that surprised me greatly. In a moment, we will select the top 5 from you 10, and from those 5, the first, second, and third places will be determined. As for how your 10 opponents will be paired, the virtual universe system has already set the rules. Among your previous battles, some were won quickly and some slowly. The fastest finisher will duel the slowest finisher. The second fastest duels the second slowest, and so on. Not only the 1008 powerful Undyings were surprised, the 990 observing geniuses were stunned, and the 10 slated duelists were taken aback. The finishing time order had been Yang Wu, Bolan, Qian Shui, Jiang Mo, Luo Feng, Long Yun, Ai Chen, Lancelot, Uka, Rong Jun. According to the rules, the matchups would be Yang Wu versus Rong Jun, Bolan versus Uka, Qian Shui versus Lancelot, Jiang Mo versus Ai Chen, Luo Feng versus Long Yun. Even the excited 13 and everyone else fell silent. Yang Wu had finished the fastest. The slowest finisher was Wildman Rong Jun. The 10 peerless geniuses prepared in silence, watching their opponents. I've got Yang Wu again. How unlucky am I? Rong Jun's mouth twitched. From the preliminary rounds inside the universe country, Rong Jun had declared his goal was to place first overall in the talent war. He met Yang Wu in the Third World District and abandoned that ambition. Then this talent war offered 3 primitive mystical region slots, and he dared to hope again. Now, by the pairing rules for the top 10, he had to face Yang Wu once more. There was nothing left to do. Good show ahead. The 990 youths and the 1007 Undyings watching the battles laughed to themselves. 13, apart from Yang Wu, your other 2 talents from Ganwu are both extremely strong. Especially Rong Jun. If he hadn't run into Yang Wu, he would have had a real shot at 3rd place and that last primitive mystical region slot. Rong Jun had just exploded onto the scene, only to be matched with Yang Wu, who had already raised his standing in everyone's estimation. By all present, 1008 Undyings and Exalts alike, whoever ran into Yang Wu was almost certainly doomed to lose. Oh no, 13 frowned. They can't all get into the top 5. Still, don't be too down. Getting 3 into the top 10 is already great. The scale-armored giant felt helpless. A moment ago he'd been ecstatic, and now he was caught in an internal contradiction. Half an hour later, the 10 original arenas in the central plaza vanished. 5 even more exquisite arenas rumbled into being. Their light shields were huge translucent membranes that refracted a prismatic glow under the overhead light sphere, dazzling to behold. The 10 youths were teleported into the 5 arenas. 5 peak duels were about to begin. All around 13, the most attention was on Yang Wu versus Rong Jun. The consensus was grim for Rong Jun. Yang Wu's strength was too great. The chance of an upset was minuscule. Yang Wu. Wildman Rong Jun stared at the black-clothed, black-haired youth with eyes like burning coals. We met in the preliminaries, and we've met again in the top 10. I know I don't have a chance, but I'll fight with everything I've got. I hope you'll show your full strength as well. Good, Yang Wu laughed, a bright, easy sound. Even his usually unruffled heart seemed to ripple at the infectious fighting intent from Rong Jun. Battle. Begin. With that command, the 5 arenas erupted. At the word begin, the restrained wild man Rong Jun unleashed his terrifying aura in an instant. Take my strongest strike, earth-splitting blade, Rong Jun roared. He hefted a massive black blade and charged straight at Yang Wu. His aura surged. Every swing of that blade seemed as if it could cleave the 100-mile arena in 2. Yang Wu drew the time-space blade from his back. Time-space blade, 7th layer. In Primordial Chaos City, his law comprehension had multiplied tenfold. Time flowed faster in the primal universe. 3 or 4 months there equaled roughly a year in the real primordial universe, but those months of accelerated study were equivalent to several normal years of cultivation. Yang Wu now had nearly 5,000 spatial avatars. His comprehension was approaching the 7th level of the universe Tongqian Bridge. To put it in perspective, many elders in the Taichu district, even after tens of thousands of years, only reached the 6th level of the Heavenly Bridge, with the exceptional barely touching the 7th. They had only one time-space origin law to work with. The universe Tongqian Bridge cultivated both time and space, making it far more difficult. In short, Yang Wu's current strength eclipsed most universe-rank elders in the Taichu district. If he could advance both time and space simultaneously to the 21st level, he could even step straight into Universe Lord, not merely Exalt. Clang! The time-space blade sang, and a torrent of blade light shot up into the sky. The sensation struck Rongjun like a hammer. His mind flared, and his expression changed. Everything around him seemed to slow. He could feel the influence of the time-space origin laws. Open for me. Rongjun howled, releasing the origin of Earth and the origin of space. The air compressed. The earth-splitting blade unleashed devastating techniques that seemed to rip the world itself. Rongjun fought with all his might, domineering, overwhelming blade art that tore and distorted the arena's space. But the gap in their understanding of the origin laws was too vast. Swish! A cascade of blade light swept across and scattered the position Rongjun had occupied. Yang Wu's strike cut everything away. Rongjun's attack failed. Yang Wu had won the exchange with a single move. Boom! Most of the 1008 Undying watching had their eyes fixed on that duel. Dozens of them widened their eyes in disbelief, rising to their feet one after another. Rongjun's self-forged blade technique is terrifying, one murmured, but when you face an abyssal gap in origin comprehension, no technique can make up for it. Who would have thought? This is really an astral-ranked talent war. Even for a universe-ranked talent contest, Yang Wu's law comprehension is rare. He's monstrous, a genius of a generation, no, of 10 million eras. Cultivating both time and space origin laws to this depth, how did he manage it? If he perfected either time or space origin law, he could become an exalt. If he truly merges them, he might become a universe lord. The Undying marveled in hushed tones. The remaining 990 astral rank youths, separated from the action only by the arena's light barrier, stared in stunned silence. Despair pressed on their hearts. They could not fathom how a fellow astral rank could be so far beyond them. I made a good bet entering that talent war back then, Ninesword Exalt said with a wry smile. There haven't been many as impressive as Yang Wu. The competition proceeded. 5 arenas, one duel after another concluding spectacularly. Bolin beat Yuka. Qian Shui defeated Lancelot. Ai Chen overcame Jiang Mo. Long Yun bested Luo Feng. These 5 matches were thrilling, Ninesword Exalt remarked, smiling at Yang Wu and the other 4. Especially Yang Wu. You 5 should rest for a while. Later there will be a round-robin between the top 5. The round-robin rules are simple. Each of you will fight the other 4 once. A win earns 1 point. Final placement by points. First, second, and third will enter the primitive mystical region. About half an hour later, the final round-robin began. Luo Feng and Rongjun were already out of contention for the primitive mystical region. Their talent war had ended, so they relaxed. What bad luck, Rongjun said with a sigh. I actually ran into Yang Wu again. You aren't bad, Luo Feng, Rongjun told him. You mastered the Thorn Sky style. 3rd place could have been within reach if fate had smiled. If you hadn't met Brother Yang, either of you might have made it, Luo Feng replied with a smile. Luo Feng had lost to Long Yun by skillful defense. Rongjun had been shut down by Yang Wu. Both ended in the top 10 and accordingly earned status in the highest beginning mythical region. The two exchanged grins. Both felt they'd been unlucky. Yang Wu is terrifying. I don't know how he cultivates, Rongjun muttered, scratching his messy hair. Repeated clashes with Yang Wu had convinced him. At least for now, he had no comparison. Look, Bolin lost, Luo Feng added, eyes on the arena where Yang Wu faced Bolin. Bolin stared at Yang Wu, his expression hard, and memories flickered across his face. His final words with his master played back in his mind. I have nothing more to teach you, his master had said. Go to the talent war. Your strength can easily rank among the top 1,000 in the universe. First place is possible. In a place like the Virtual Universe Corporation, where geniuses are countless, you will find a master worthy of guiding you and find true rivals. When you reach Undying, come to me. Rumble. Teacher, I will prove I am the outstanding genius. Bolin roared, unleashing his full power without reserve.